Hey guys, I'm Chill Out with Sub-07 and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man X4. Last time, we took a trip to the Bio Laboratory and cyberspace itself to take on the next two Mavericks, Split Mushroom and Cyber Peacock. This time, we're taking a trip to the Air Force, of all places, to tackle our next Maverick, Storm Owl. He left with the Space Fortress to conquer the air. This is actually the second boss in the X series to reuse a adjective from their name. Because we had Flame Stag after Flame Mammoth, but now we got Storm Owl after Storm Eagle. So yes, this is the Air Force. We're actually taking to the skies itself and fighting the aircraft, which is kind of nuts. Be careful doing this because the platforms destroy themselves if you're not careful. And we also got ride armors. Haven't seen these in a while because I don't actually remember. Well, no, there was the Chimera armor in X3. But this one, pretty good. It's got homing lasers you can charge up, it's got regular blasts you can fire normally, and it can glide. You can't glide and fire at the same time, which is a bit unfortunate, but you can hold a shot. Well, you can glide, I should say, and fire at the same time, which is quite nice. And the homing projectiles are rather powerful, so this is a pretty good weapon. Okay, more importantly though, there's a heart tank coming up, and we want to rush it. Right here. Dodge the laser, because that will destroy it. Or at least it will push it away into the abyss, and you'll fall to your death trying to chase after it. The Air Force stage here is not too bad, all things considered. It's a bit dangerous, but Zero's Saber can deal with the cannons pretty effectively by itself, so you don't gotta worry too much. And you can always try using the electric attack if you want to deal with it. Raijin Geki. Plus, your spinning attack is really good. Three-hit combo, of course, very effective. And even attacking from the back is somewhat effective for these guys. Come on, there's gotta be some sort of health pickup I can use. Nope. Pretty much, it's really easy to just zip through this stage with Zero because this stage doesn't really offer much in terms of issues for the player. That's the first segment. On to Area 2. Ready. This section is actually significantly smaller than the first part because, well, it's just really small. Let's use a special attack to destroy that enemy that was charging up a laser behind this wall. You can use it to deal with most of these guys, but be careful because they will keep shooting lasers. But you can dispose of them with your beam saber, which is quite nice. And you'll notice there's spikes around here. Spikes, as usual for Mega Man, are instant death, so be careful. But keep this area in mind for if you're playing as X. This will be important. And yes, we are already... Just kidding, we're at a mini-boss. We got this panel on the wall. Pretty much your entire objective is just to damage it when it exposes its core. Z-Saber Spin deals a ton of damage, so be sure to do that as much as possible. So look at that. This just tearing away at its health. One more good attack should do it. Got him. Yeah, this isn't really much of a mini-boss, but it's pretty easy enough. Like, I make the argument that X4 is one of the easiest X games for a reason. It's really not that bad, so just keep that in mind. For now, though, head to the left of all places for our boss fight. Kinda rare for an X game to make you do that, or for any Mega Man game, really. Why did you judge us as Mavericks? Wait! Stop the coup! No. We're justified in doing this. Sure, guy. Whatever you say. Storm Owl! Very annoying boss if you're not used to fighting him. He is able to grab you and slam you to the ground for a lot of damage. X. Oop, that's the wrong button. There's a button. Yep. ZR is what you should be pressing as Zero because that unleashes his one attack from Cyber Peacock that stuns him. This is the attack that uses up actual ammo though, so be careful. He really does like to focus on the grappling, so you really got to be careful of that. Attack him too many times and his windshield will form to protect himself. You're right, it's not over yet. Your best bet is to really wait until he gets close to you and then focus on blasting him with Cyber Peacock's screen attack. Watch out. Those cyclones deal a ton of damage, but luckily you can see them coming, and he's down. In the original X4, actually, that attack from Storm Owl doesn't have an audio cue, so it can be a bit dangerous if you're not prepared for it. Luckily, we took him out, no problem. Nice work, Zero. Tenkuha. This one, interesting. Enhanced D-Saber. You can cut enemy energy shots while you're with your saber. So now we essentially can slice bullets. Useful. Save that progress. Got another heart tank for our troubles with that. That was nice. And let's continue. Storm Owl's an interesting boss. It's one of the more fun stages, I'd say. But since we've defeated 4 Mavericks, this occurs. I've got a message from Repliforce. Zero. I'll be at the Memorial Hall. Be there. Don't go, Zero. Don't fight him. This is a matter of personal pride now. There's no avoiding this. I must go. Listen to what they say. And laugh at the voice acting. But listen to what they say.
Colonel! What? I'm disappointed in you, Colonel. What do you think you're doing? It's not too late. Stop the coup now.
It's coup,
If that's
not
your
coup.
decision, prepare yourself!
Stop, please! Brother, please! Don't you remember? Zero saved my life.
Oh, right.
Very well then.
He just backs off
Spare
immediately.
your life for now. But next time, there'll be no mercy.
Oh, the voice acting is just
Zero,
beautiful.
please, don't fight with my brother. If you do, I'm afraid that one of you may end up...
Someone must stop Repliforce.
Zero!
I need to point out, Colonel said, "What do you think you're doing?" Which implies he wasn't intending on fighting Zero right away. So, good fucking job, Zero, you dumbass. Save that progress. Continue tout droit. But now that we got that, plot out of the way, it's finally time for us to tackle the best Maverick in X4, and I will accept no substitutes on this. Dragoon. We saw him at the start of the game. He betrayed us, as they said. Let's go to the volcano. Magma Dragoon. He betrayed the irregular hunters and hid himself inside a volcano. Irregular hunters is actually what the Maverick hunters are called in Japan because Mavericks are irregulars. Welcome to the volcano. Also, yes, our Z-Saber is now purple thanks to Storm Owl's upgrade, so it's stronger now. It still can't destroy these fireballs though, so be careful. We got double jump for a reason. Use it to avoid them. This stage, in my opinion, might be the best stage in the game. Fireballs are all over the place, but they don't hurt as much as you think they might be. It's all a matter of just timing your dodges. Plenty of health pickups to make it easier for you if you get hit. Avoid the fireballs crossing paths, fireballs emerging from the ground. And I gotta admit, Magma's Dragoon does have a pretty badass theme for a stage. Like, we've had Fire Mavericks in the past. I didn't really think much of them until this guy. Like, being honest, this is probably my favorite Maverick in X4. And one of my favorites in general, but we'll get more into why that is for Dragoon himself once we get to the boss fight. I just love the way that the magma balls just thud when they slam into the ground. It's awesome. But anyway, on to Area 2. Time for some platforming and some fireball dodging. These fireballs will destroy the platforms you're on after enough time, so be careful. But nothing you can't handle. Get some energy pickups for good luck. Deal with this guy in a ride armor, get an extra life. Nice. With double jump, we can go over here to get ourselves a heart tank. Very useful to get. Why, unfortunately, you have to do Dragoon later in the weakness chain. Ow. Get hit with that by that missile, but that's fine. Deal with that. Nothing we can't handle. Now, there's fireballs, but there's also another ride armor here. This is different, though, from the one in Storm Owl stage. Also, this. This doesn't seem like much. Keep this in mind for later, because this is important if you're playing as X. Head in this right armor, though, you get some slash attacks, and you are immune to lava. Lava is instant death to most other Mavericks, or excuse me, most characters, I should say, but not in the right armor. It's extremely durable with that sort of thing, and its attacks are pretty strong. Like, this is a very potent weapon, and you might think, well, I guess we gotta get out of the armor. No, you don't. For the first time in the X series, you can bring armor into the boss fight. This would be later repeated in X7 and X8, but X7 is a shit game, so that one doesn't count. This is Dragoon. Zero, it's really you. Why did you betray us? Answer me, Dragoon! I have no answer for you, my friend. Dragoon! Magma Dragoon is a Street Fighter character. He's got Shoryukens. He's got Hadokens as well, and he's got dive kicks. This is a character that is blatantly an homage to Ryu, Ken, and Akuma from Street Fighter. He's even got Akuma's prayer beats to really rub it in. Your right armor is extremely effective at fighting this guy, but you don't have to use it if you don't want to. He'll breathe fire at you, he'll summon columns of fire from the side. Uh-oh, we lost the armor. Once it takes enough damage, it will be destroyed, so be careful. Dragoon is dangerous as Zero because Dragoon doesn't have a normal weakness. Just gotta focus on chipping him down normally. Once he finishes that, gotta watch out. He's gonna summon fire from the sky. Oh god. This guy is probably the hardest regular boss in the game. Uh-oh. We're gonna be in trouble. I need that energy tank right now. Like, even with him stopping to breathe fire, it's pretty dangerous. One more. And he's dead. Nice. That could have gone really bad. This fight is pretty challenging, actually, because even with the right armor, Dragoon puts up a hell of a fight. As X, he's not as bad, but as Zero, really can test you. I wanted to defeat you. Then he appeared. He? Who? He told me he'd give me power only if I worked for Repliforce. What? I couldn't refuse the offer. Sorry, Zero. Dragoon! Dragoon is unique in that he's the only boss in the X series to have post-fight dialogue for a Maverick. This also gives us Ryujin. Up and the special move button on the ground. A powerful attack that burns enemies with flames. Some objects may be burned with this technique. This is important for us because we actually can finally access that heart tank and web spider stage that we couldn't get earlier. So we'll be heading back there right now to go showcase that. Down to the underside of web spider section, you mentioned last time that we were here that we could destroy these. Use Ryujin in order to... Not Ryujin. Was it Ryujin? Yeah, Ryujin. In order to uppercut the wooden logs, and you'll set them ablaze. They'll disappear after a few seconds, allowing you to see what's inside of them. This is actually a really powerful weapon for Zero because it is very damaging, deals continuous damage, and it just tears things asunder. There's our heart tank. And we're pretty much here at the end of the stage, so might as well just go all the way. But yeah, being honest, I think Dragoon is probably my favorite Maverick in the game and one of the best in the series overall. He, ironically, if I remember correctly, becomes a playable character in not X4, but Rock Band X Dive, the mobile phone game. And if I remember correctly, he's actually a secret boss that you can encounter in the training mode for X5. Kind of a neat idea throwing him in as a little bonus, as a little apparition there. He definitely seems to be the most popular Maverick from this game, though I gotta say, the official artwork for Dragoon in X4 is kinda lame. Like, compare this to his actual art for X-Dive, he looks kinda derpy. I don't know why, it just always seemed kinda off to me with his X4 artwork. But of course, time to ask the age-old question once again. If Zero can do this well, how did X fare with this sort of thing? Well... Storm Owl! Why is the X4 boss intro so fucking hype? X has it about the same as Zero in terms of how he traverses through Storm Owl stage. The first segment is pretty much the same regardless of what character you're playing. Just so long as you're careful and avoid the laser blast, you should be fine. However, once we get to Area 2, X has something of vital importance in this area that you want to get, no matter what. First things first though, charge shot up against this, and it somehow manages to go through the wall enough to destroy that enemy. I don't know why, it just does. I get that the shot technically is a piercing attack, but still. Regardless, Thunder Web is your best friend here. You're gonna need this thing. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, God. You see what I'm trying to do, though. And we died. God damn it. I can't even be mad. It's X4. It's got to squeeze in difficulty somewhere. It's not going to get it much else. But no, to be serious for a moment, this is probably one of the only points where you're going to have issues. Because this is where we're hiding another upgrade for X. And you really, really want this. Trust me. Try this again. Okay, I am missing this or something. Cut to a successful attempt, please. Ah, son of a... God damn it! I forgot that his hitbox extends forward slightly when he's done hovering. That's stupid. Oh God, it can't get any closer. There we go, finally. That took way too many tries to admit. You can charge up to 4 blasts at a time with this arm module. It takes a while to charge, but you can fire a charge shot at any time you so wish with it. This arm module is also changeable. Enter this capsule to change parts. Now what the hell does that mean? Simple. There's 2 arm capsules in X4. With this arm part, you can fire this plasma shot, which is effective against stronger enemies. If the shot hits the opponent, plasma is generated, which will cause additional damage to the enemy. This arm module is changeable. Enter this capsule to change parts. You're free to switch between these 2 whenever you desire if you think one of them is better than the other. Personally, I think the plasma shot is the more effective of the weapons, because it is a massive shot that leaves a... already failed to say my sentence, god damn it. I know, Dr. Light, you already told me this. It leaves a residual shot that will do extra damage with time. This one is nice in that you can just have free charge shots stored up for safety, like up to 4, but you don't really need it, because it's X4. You don't really need to worry about that too much in this game. Like, here's a demonstration of the plasma shot. It leaves a giant residue that might not seem like much at first because, hey, we're not really getting the best use out of it right now, but it's pretty effective when you use it on the right enemies. Like, any sort of enemy with a big shield, this thing disposes of instantly. Yeah, like that. It really starts to cripple their health once you get it going into a nice rhythm. Like that. That's better. Yeah, this core doesn't really stand a chance against a good plasma shot. Let's grab this. And let's go take on Storm Owl. Remember, his weakness is the aiming laser. Zero didn't really have the same weapon because he had that grounded all directions projectile. But X at least has the aiming laser. How dare you destroy my unit? You'll pay for this with your life. Yeah, X doesn't even ask Owl to call off the coup, which is kind of weird. Aiming laser is really powerful against this dude, though. He doesn't stand much of a chance. Like, this weapon's pretty broken against him. But what do you expect is his weakness? Two more cycles should finish him. And he's dead. Way to look away, X. Cool guys don't look at explosions. And he's down. So unlike Zero, who just gets an upgraded Z-Saber, what do we get? Double Cyclone is what we get. This is a pretty useful weapon. Fires vacuum cyclones left and right. Most effective when surrounded by the enemies. And against Skyborn enemies. This is actually a pretty useful tool, all things considered. And something I haven't mentioned yet, since we have the arm parts now, we can charge up our special weapons. This will be the only time that we'll be burning weapon ammo for them, but otherwise it's pretty useful. Sir, it's a message from the Colonel. X, I'll wait for you at Memorial Hall. Make sure you show up on time. Sir, this must be a trap! Perhaps, but I won't run this time. Unlike Zero, we get a stage out of this. Kind of. We get a boss fight. Colonel, stop this foolishness now. Never. Colonel, please, think this over. The Replo Force must be independent. Our battle will determine this.
I've been waiting to fight with you.
The Colonel! It's kind of a joke. All things considered, this guy is pretty damn easy. He does 2 slashes at you, runs back, blocks projectiles normally, but that's not an issue. The plasma shot does a ton of damage to him, and he doesn't really have many options for you because he doesn't have any sort of aerial attack. You can just hover in midair and obliterate him this way. Like, this is a pretty goddamn easy fight. Like, even me botching that hit doesn't really matter. He does shoot projectiles, which is something, I suppose. Doesn't do much, though. Again, this fight is kind of a cakewalk as X. As Zero, this fight might be more challenging, but with double jump as well, this fight isn't that bad either. Like, we're gonna be here a while, so get comfy. Otherwise, this fight is a joke. So I gotta say, while we're waiting for Colonel to eventually kill himself from his own stupidity, you wanna know what I hate? Scalpers. Fuck scalpers. All of them. Just having a nice, normal day of trying to play Metroid Prime Remastered, but some motherfucker bought up every copy in my local area and is selling them for $90. That's a $40 game, you dickhead. I ain't spending 90. I'm not stupid. I'm crazy. But enough about scalpers being the scum of the earth. Colonel here does have a weakness. I forget which one it is, though, and we might not actually have it currently, so be careful. You know what, while we're doing this, I guess we can find out. Okay, Cyclone does not seem like it. We can at least try the other weapons just to see, because I'm actually not sure what Colonel's weakness is. Not aiming laser, that's for certain. Not double vision. Excuse me, not double copy vision. Yeah, it looks like we don't have it currently. So back to regular Buster. It's kind of weird that Colonel actually has a boss fight for X, but not for Zero. You know, the guy he supposedly was former friends with. Just kind of strange. Alright, one more hit should do it. There we go. Impressive, but the results won't be the same next time. Until then, Colonel! And that's that. Yeah, just nothing of note really happened. On to Dragoon, though. Magma Dragoon! X's plasma shot is surprisingly effective in that it can actually destroy the magma balls in Dragoon stage. Takes a little bit of muscle for it, but it does work. Like, the plasma shot, as it mentioned, is really effective against just grounded enemies with a lot of armor or a lot of health. So long as they don't got a big shield blocking the way, this thing will do a ton of damage. Use Web Spider's electric web, and you can easily get up here for the heart tank. However, there is one other thing to note about this. Aside from, I guess, using the aiming laser, that wasn't my intention, but sure. Also, yeah, charged up aiming laser is pretty funny. Just a death ray. Let's try this. The double cyclone is effective, but not so much against these big bulky enemies. It's better for airborne enemies, as I mentioned. But what I was trying to say here is this. Remember that segment that we saw that said, hey, you need to use... You have a barrier blocking the way? Okay, I didn't fucking deal with you first. You are a problem that needs to die. Over here. This object, like this wall in its entirety, we can't do anything about this. We can at least test out our special weapons on it, but nothing we have currently is effective against this in particular. Like double cyclone doesn't do anything, aiming laser won't do anything because it doesn't even see anything. Our double clone doesn't do anything, but it does have a really cool effect we'll be doing later. Like, nothing works on that wall. There is a charged special weapon that does work against it, but we're going to have to come back to later for that. That is where the last armor upgrade for X is, but it's going to be a while until we get it. For now, let's just charge ahead recklessly. Because we're in ride armor, nothing stops us. Let's go fight Dragoon. X, you've arrived. Dragoon, why did you betray the HQ? You'll have to defeat me first. But we're allies. You're so naive. Listen closely. I let the Sky Lagoon fall, and I'd go do it again. Ha 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 ha! No! Those were innocent people! You're not Dragoon, just a maverick. You got that right. Power up, X. It's time you showed me what you can do. Once again, he has the dive kick. We didn't really see that in the first fight with him. Watch out for the Shoryuken, of course. Very dangerous attack from him because it deals a lot of damage. Fire breath attack. Oh, okay, we lost the armor. We gotta do this the hard way. Plasma shot with X is really effective against Dragoon here, so keep that in mind. But don't forget, you do have his weakness as X, the double cyclone. Did not mean to use aiming laser, gotta change. Oh god. We're gonna need that energy tank, and quickly. Double cyclone. This is his weakness. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it is useful at slowing him down. This does stagger him, which makes this fight significantly easier compared to Zero. And that's Dragoon down. I'm willing to bet that Dragoon's personality was very much just based off of Akuma, because he's really just seeking a great fight. That's why he does destroy the Sky Lagoon, because he just wants to get the attention of X and Zero for a good fight. You think he would have gone for a sparring match, but I guess he wanted to see them at their full strength, so had to be their enemy for it. You are strong, X. Such a waste. Why, Dragoon? Always wanted to fight you. Then he appeared. And he appeared? Who? Told me to work for Repliforce. To goad you into fighting. You did it just so you could fight me? Was worth it for a final duel. Dragoon! You know, we were supposed to bring him in. Oops. This is also the only boss of the Mavericks that neither X nor Zero does a victory pose for. But we get Rising Fire out of this. Shoots fire energy completely vertically. Effective against all airborne enemies. Some objects may be burned by this attack as well. And yes, it's the same exact thing for Web Spider. The same exact thing. We'll grab that real fast, just to demonstrate. God damn it. Rising fire as an attack is exactly what it sounds like. Vertical fire. Very useful against airborne enemies that are above you, not so much against grounded enemies in front of you, but it does have its uses. Charge this thing up though, and it becomes the Shoryuken. Very powerful attack. Very much recommend it. Sure, it's only limited to upward attacks, but you know what? That's kind of okay because a lot of X enemies are verticality based. And right over here, as soon as we get there, come on. Do the Shoryuken, and we get ourselves that heart tank. Let's get out of here. That's all on our end. Back to you, X-Me. Or excuse me, Zero Me. Thanks, X-Me. Alright, but that will do it for us for this episode of Mega Man X4. Next time on Let's Play Mega Man X4, time to head out to the snow base to tackle Frost Walrus and the marine base for Jet Stingray. Till next time, ice out.